and welcome back to the Minds of America. I'm your host, Kyle Nagy, and today I will be talking about the Electoral College. To begin, let's move ourselves back to the 1780s, when the United States Constitution was being drafted and the representatives in government needed to decide on how elections would work. There were several ideas passed around during the Constitutional Convention on how the people should be represented in the U.S. government. The New Jersey Plan was built to favor small states and would give each state equal representation. And the other major proposal, the Virginia Plan, was designed to favor bigger, more populous states and represented states based on population. In the end, both of these plans were used to create the two houses of Congress, the House of Representatives from the Virginia Plan and the Senate from the New Jersey Plan. Then, in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, the process for presidential elections was decided. The Electoral College was born from a combination of both these plans once again. Each state gets at least 3 electors, 2 from their guaranteed senators, and at least 1 based on how many members of the House of Representatives they hold. While this may seem like a fair system, it has several major flaws. The first major flaw stems from the Permanent Apportionment Act of 1929. This act limited the size of the House of Representatives to 435 representatives, based on the population found in the 1910 census. This has led to some states with very low populations taking more representation than they should proportionally have. This is a problem for the political representation in Congress, but it is an even greater problem when it comes to the Electoral College. Due to the cap on the amount of electors, not all votes are created equal. A person from Wyoming has nearly 5 times as much voting power as a person from California. This is due to the fact that Wyoming has an overall population of about 500,000, and California has a population of almost 40 million. Yet the Wyoming has 3 electoral votes and California has 55 electoral votes. This means that each Wyoming electoral vote represents about 170,000 people, whereas each California electoral vote represents about 900,000 people. Then, of course, there is another problem, the winner-take-all voting system. A candidate needs exactly 50% of the population of a state voting plus 1 in order to win their electoral votes. This means that a large portion of almost every state's population has no say in the presidential election. California in 2016 had 32% of the electoral vote go for Donald Trump, yet 100% of California's electoral votes went for Hillary Clinton. These two problems have led to a failure of democracy 5 times. By failure of democracy, I mean 5 times the Electoral College has fought against the majority of what people want and went against the popular vote to choose the next president. This means that nearly 8% of the time, the Electoral College goes against the will of the people. This is not a fair system that gives power to smaller states. This is an inexcusable system that goes against the idea of democracy. And that is the current state of the Electoral College. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Kyle Nagy for Minds of America.